There's something special about the stories that connect kids to the natural world and to different cultures. That's exactly the idea behind a new children's book, Seasons by the Lake, Adventures in Greenland, which officially hits shelves tomorrow. Author Naya Lund Aparico joins me now. Thank you so much for being here and welcome to New Day.
Oh, thank you, Kelly, for having me. This is an honor.
So I understand you worked in international relations before moving to the U.S. What inspired you to start writing children's books?
First of all, my boys, my sons, I wanted to write children's books for them where they see themselves and their cultural identity in children's books that are fun, not social studies or, yeah. So,
Yes.
and then secondly, I believe that international relations and picture books have something in common. They're both a dialogue and communication.
Oh,
Yeah.
so what's the story of Seasons by the Lake?
Seasons by the Lake is about playing outdoors all year round, despite the nature, the weather, the climate, yeah.
Oh, okay. And tell us more about the two brothers that are really the heart of this story.
The brothers are Greenlandic Inuit kids that are out learning about navigating and reading the signs in nature.
Ooh, what did they discover?
They discover how to use that broken ice, and then how to be outdoors without thinking about time during the midnight sun, and then making playtime during the winter and folklore, yeah.
Yeah. Did you model them at all after your boys or?
Yes, both my boys and myself, mainly myself because I lived there my whole childhood. Yes, so I definitely was my memories.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you choose to set the book in Greenland?
In Greenland, because I feel like the stories that I could find for my boys, they were non-existent. It was more about, it was like an older culture that it was stories that didn't reflect the contemporary kids. So I wanted modern kids into the picture book arena about Greenlandic kids.
Was this the first children's book that you've written too?
No, this is the third, but the two first ones were in Greenlandic and were published in Greenland.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay. And the illustrations in this book are lovely. So first, give kudos to who did those, but then also as someone who grew up in Greenland, what makes the changing of the seasons so magical?
Yeah, Alex Neese did amazing job in illustrating. She brought the whole story to life. What was magical about the changing season is so abrupt. It's so harsh. It's just so sudden. Like humans have no control over what you can do if the weather suddenly changes. So it's a lot starker. Like the stark changes are, they're real and
Yes.
dangerous in many cases.
And how did you really weave in Inuit culture into the story in a way that would feel natural to young readers when they pick up this book?
I think it comes natural because about 88% of the Greenland population is Inuit. So it's the majority, and everything you kind of weave in are already a part of the culture.
And why was this story so important to tell right now more than ever?
Yeah, I think it comes at the right time, but the truth is I wrote it in 2015 and it was bought in 2022, and now it's just coming out now. But it's a right moment, I would say, when people need books about Greenland to know that there are people living there, there's a culture there.
Absolutely. And so you said you spent your whole childhood there too. So walk me through when you moved to the U.S. and your journey.
Yeah, I met my husband when I was studying in Denmark, so we met at the student dorm. Yeah.
A little love story.
Yeah, a
I
little love
like
story,
it.
the origin story, and then we lived overseas for a while before we came here.
Okay. And you live now, like you just mentioned, in
Yeah.
Western Washington with your family. So what are the biggest similarities, would you say, and differences with Greenland and the Pacific Northwest?
Oh, absolutely. The seafood, and the mountains are just immediate home for me.
Aw.
I think the biggest differences are the trees. The trees, we're not used to big trees like that. We have low shrub. So having the cover that kind of, shades your view, that was something I had to get used to. Another thing that's really like homey for me is the ferry systems that connects the places, islands and places. Yeah.
I love a ferry ride.
Yeah, me too.
What do you want the takeaway to be when someone picks up and finishes your book?
I hope they enjoy it and see that these are kids that are contemporary, playing outdoors, using outdoors on their own, and that that you can combine traditional ways of life with modern life too. And that maybe sometimes you don't have to be the power over nature, that you should let nature be, the one that dictates your daily life.
And what's next for you? Can we expect more books coming?
Yes.
What can you tell us?
Yeah, I have 2 books that are in the way for next year and the year after. I can't mention who yet, by who, but yes, 2 more. And then I also have story time coming up in the near future, but yeah.
Oh, what story time? Is that where you go to local
bookstores? Third Place Books, March 29th at 11 a.m. with a picture book friend of mine, Natasha Zimmers, and we're going to present our books there.
I bet your boys are really proud of you to be able to read something like this and something that's kind of about them too.
I hope so. Thank you.
Amazing. Where can people find the book?
Any bookstore that you use, online or in-person bookstores. The big ones, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. This is so great.
Oh, thank you so much, Kelly.